The U.S. government, like many countries, they hold reserves in a variety of different assets, gold, oil, rare minerals like palladium. And I think they have like maybe 27 different reserves. And so, many governments hold gold. I think they should start to hold Bitcoin because Bitcoin is essentially the new gold standard. It's, I think, a very core way that you should hold assets and hold value over time. And it's still nascent enough where it has some volatility. It's getting less and less over time, but it still has a lot of upside potential. So I think if the U.S. gets that legislation approved, which I hope they do, the rest of the G20 will follow, and that could be a huge driver of Bitcoin price appreciation.
At the World Economic Forum's annual conference in Davos, Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong and Skybridge Capital's Anthony Scaramucci participated in a panel on crypto and digital assets. They highlighted the significance of the current administration's favorable stance on cryptocurrency and its potential to accelerate industry growth both domestically and globally. Armstrong expressed confidence that Trump will fulfill his campaign promise to establish a U.S. strategic Bitcoin reserve, predicting that other G7 nations will soon follow suit. Make sure to watch this next clip where Armstrong reveals more insights into Bitcoin's acceptance. Also, if you enjoy listening to crypto-related content, please show your support by liking and subscribing to this channel by following the link in my bio, and get access to my free daily crypto updates and expert predictions direct to your inbox. Each update contains on-chain data, forecasts and expert predictions. All of this is available free of charge. It only takes a moment to sign up and you can always change your mind later. Now back over to Brian Armstrong.
So why Bitcoin reserve and not beef reserves and mutton reserves? Anyone wants to comment on that?
Well, I think that if you like Neil Ferguson is here, he has a great book on the ascent of money, and he's a historian, and so many things have been used as money over the years. I think it's pretty, this is still maybe a new idea, but I think it's clear at this point that Bitcoin is a better form of money than gold. It is provably scarce, just like gold, but it's more portable and divisible, so you can actually use it. Has higher utility, I would say. And it was the best performing asset of the last 10 years. And so for store of value, I think it's going to be important for governments to hold this over time. It might start with being 1% of their reserves, but I think over time it'll come to be equal to or greater than gold reserves. In terms of the state of the industry, I'd say that it's the dawn of a new day. You have to remember that the last 4 years in the US, it was a very hostile environment. I think the lack of clarity got weaponized, and some people in the government tried to actually, I think, curtail or kill the industry unlawfully. And so with a new administration coming in, I think we have a path to get clear rules, and we're going to have hopefully legislation passed through Congress, which will bring in a lot of new investment. And so crypto is really in its infancy. I think it's incredibly exciting. I mean, the ETFs have it's broken almost every record of new ETFs of Bitcoin money flowing in. Payments with stablecoins are on a tear. They grew about 300% year over year. In 2024, they did about $30 trillion in payment volume with USDC as a major player there, for instance. And, I'd say about half of the Fortune 500 has some sort of pilot going in crypto. I mean, the largest financial service firms in the world, every fintech, many of the neobanks are all integrating crypto. So this is a technology that's going to update the financial system globally, make it faster, cheaper, more efficient. And it's the long-term impact of this is that it's actually going to increase economic freedom in the world. If you want, we can come back to that topic. But to me, that's one of those important freedoms right up there with speech, which is foundational to all prosperity in society. And if we can actually inject good financial infrastructure to every country of the world for anybody who has a smartphone, plug them into the global economy, I think it's going to lift billions of people out of poverty, and it's going to be very transformational over the next couple decades. I think the Trump effect cannot be denied here. To have the leader of the largest GDP country in the world come out undeniably and say that he wants to be the first crypto president, he wants the industry to be built in America, that he's going to direct every agency of the US government to work towards clear rules which enable innovation. This is unprecedented. And it's hard to deny that effect has, we just yesterday saw an all-time high price for Bitcoin at 109,000. I think that's largely due to the inauguration.
I was there when President Trump gave this speech at the Bitcoin conference, and it was very, very clear if he won the election, things were going to change in the industry. And if you were on the side of the Democrats trying to support them, I was astonished at their reluctance to understand what was actually going on. And if somebody does write a history of this era, It'll be the era where Elizabeth Warren and Gary Gensler got together for some unknown reason. Some of us have some ideas about what they were doing, but they got together and they literally helped the Democrats lose the presidency, the House, and the Senate. And so it was very hard to communicate with them at that time what they were doing. But what I will say, and I have to respect Mr. President Trump for this industry is here to stay, and there are properties in this industry. There's companies like Circle, companies like Coinbase, Franklin Templeton, Stellar, that are going to advance the technological innovation in the world of transactions. They're going to speed them up, they're going to make them cheaper, and it's going to unleash an amazing amount of global innovation. And you got to give the president and his team credit for understanding it. And I also think we have put pressure on the Democrats now. The Sherrod Brown race in the United States set alarm bells off. And so for the Europeans in the room, Sherrod Brown was an 18-year veteran of the Senate. He was the head of the Senate Banking Committee. The crypto community, through the Political Action Committee, dumped $40 million into that race, knocked him into the woods. And that's very hard to do, to dislodge an incumbent with that level of power. And I think it sends a message to the Democrats as well that they need to be bipartisan with this. So I am very hopeful and very.
Don't forget to subscribe to access my free daily crypto updates and expert predictions direct to your inbox.